Levonne Aronian playing against Gary Kasparov, of course, another game that we're keeping a close eye on. And what is this one?
Yeah, it again, like it's a Nimzo Indian, Queen C2 classical Nimzo Indian. This was from an earlier round. H2, H4.
Well, trying to use Levonne's own tricks against him.
H2, H4. Where do this position is very well known. A lot of games. Bishop G5, Bishop F4. There are other moves, but the move H2, H4.
Well, Levonne said it. When you can play H4, you should play it. And now Gary's doing the same thing against him and gaining a big edge in the clock. So that's a good start. Bishop B7, Bishop G5, both on the board.
Okay, but if you were going to play Bishop G5, why not start with it? You could always play H4, but he must have had a very specific reason for this particular move order.
Queen D5 has been played by Levonne.
Gary rocked back in his chair there, by the way, as C7 is currently hanging. That is a pawn sitting.
Rook C8. I wouldn't want to touch. You get burned grabbing pawns like that on C7.
You love pawns, yes?
And I love pawns, so you know it's really it's super hot to grab that puppy. But Queen takes D5. Okay, maybe Gary won't be happy about his opening edge, but Queen takes D5, Bishop takes D5, Bishop takes F6, Gf6, Rook C1. Yeah, I dinged up Black's pawns a bit. I'm not sure why this pawn needs to be on H4.
While we have time, I wanted to look at what happens if we snag the pawn, but there we go. Rook C1 finally played by Gary. And Knight D7 immediately from Levonne. And now, again, we are always confronted with this question.
Now Queen takes D5, Bishop takes D5, Rook takes C7 is a pawn grab you might want to think about, but again, it's super dicey.
That's right.
To take this pawn.
Black will have
huge development plus for Black, and the king is really misplaced still. So Rook C1, Knight D7, challenge. By the way, if you don't take the pawn, if you allow Black the opportunity to play C7, C5, he's more than equalized because, again, there's development. Look at the first rank. A lot of white pieces still on the first rank.
That move H4 is looking more and more suspicious.
It really does. And Gary is looking deeply into the position, trying to decipher, did he make an early opening
it looks
error?
like something's being taken. The queen's a half pawn off the board. Queen D5, Bishop D5.
As expected.
And now, I don't think he's going to go for the C7 pawn yet. That looks too dangerous.
Right. That is a hot potato indeed. You don't want to swallow that guy.
If not, then shouldn't you be moving? Because your clock is ticking inexorably right now. You need to start making some giddy-up moves.
Right.
Maybe
if I were in white shoes, E3, C5, Bishop A6, and I go with an isolated queen pawn situation, I'm not a big fan of what I'd be doing, but at least I'd have the C file in my midst.
That's not Gary Kasparov.
That is not Gary Kasparov.
That is really
That's Anatoly Karpov.
He's looking at this board, and he doesn't want to settle down and admit that he's lost the opening battle in terms of getting an advantage completely, and also that Black has free moves. Black's moves are obvious to play. The move C5 if he gets a chance, and then everything, Knight E4 at some point. It just seems so easy. Bring the rooks in. Very clear plans for Black right now.
Exactly, and not the case for white. So again, E2, E3, kind of like, well, I'd be saddened about it. C5, Bishop A6. The idea behind Bishop A6 is to control the square C8 so that this rook cannot challenge.
He is sub 2 minutes right now, and he's playing Knight E5. Now that's Gary Kasparov, a different personality style, playing for Knight E5.
But that feels like an overreach to my eyes. C5, Knight takes D7, what else? Takes on, and eventually you got to play here, E2, E3, just to get your pieces out, but then Knight B3 and Rook C8, and Black has the initiative.
And again, we could try to get greedy and win a pawn with Bishop to E7 and Bishop takes C5, but we're going to be left with those same issues of no development for our kingside pieces.
C5 on the board, and Gary, you saw, pull himself up in his chair to study that move. Maybe he thought he was preventing it, But now bishop takes on
taken
f6.
on f6, knight takes f6,
And taken on
he's gone
c5.
for the c5 pawn. But again, he's doing it without a lot of, well, with virtually no development and recapture on c5. Again, you really don't want to reach for that pawn. But check this out, guys. Just simply rook b8, and there's going to be some nice counterplay against this pawn on b2.
So maybe Gary's going to feel like he has to take it. Nope, he's played f3, trying to play e4, which will develop his bishop on f1. We really need that.
Always the Maximus.
Keeping the knight out of f knight out of e4 as well.
Okay.
That's a good move, f3.
That move looks very attractive, actually.
I'm not
So rook b8,
sorry.
b4, you're just going back to a8?
No, I'm going to go down to a2,
Ooh,
of course.
okay.
Give me your pawn.
And if rook c2?
Right. So now I was wondering what I was going to do. Was I going to double rooks, or I didn't know if I wanted to tickle you with...
And here we go. This is exactly what Levon played. He played bishop a2 with a little flourish.
Did he really? Oh.
I mean, isn't bishop c4 coming now?
Rook
Rook
c2?
c2, and isn't bishop c4 coming?
Well, I'm not really too sure because, okay, I go rook b6, bishop c4, bishop b1. You'll have b3 to hold the b pawn. That's very important to have the move b3, something I have overlooked. So rook c2, is it on the board?
Rook c2, and Levon's now in the tank, starting to come close to the time of Gary Kasparov, who's got over 1.5 minutes. Levon ticking down to 2 minutes.
If Levon doesn't do something right now, and Gary gets to play 2 moves,
bishop c4, and I don't care.
King any, and
King
rook
f2
in the game.
and rook in the game. He'll have a great position.
Clear advantage if he can get those with no worries.
It's a battle of time, though. Do we have time for those 2 moves?
So
b4 in that position was a threat as well. So
bishop b1, rook had to go to d2, maybe rook d8.
That's what's happened. Try to take care of the only, one of the only 2 good pieces in White's camp.
That's slick play. Rook takes
d8, rook takes d8, distracting the rook from the b2 pawn. Now it's time finally to complete development. Bishop c4.
Bishop b5 was Gary's choice.
He's trying to stop the pressure on the b pawn.
And if rook b8?
But rook b8 is going to play a4.
Yeah, and then we have
you have to play
a6 and rook takes b2.
Right, in which case he'll castle, and then he's got the passed a pawn.
True.
But I got the passed c pawn.
I think I can just go.
Yeah, but the better knight. The better knight.
I can go rook a2 and I can go bishop c2 and rook a2, right?
But I think Gary had a much better choice in bishop c4.
By the way, there's checkmate on the back rank. Remember the tempo of checkmate on the back rank as well. There are variations when you try to grab something and suddenly you find this rook show up on one of those files.
And Gary's got the time edge now, and Levon didn't play that intuitive rook b8. Instead, he played knight h5. He didn't like that line. Yes.
Oh, I can imagine why. But I think Gary has got a really, really big advantage suddenly, and it was that sudden. There wasn't enough play in the position for
G4.
G4.
G4 of all
I was
moves.
expecting castles with a tempo.
Yeah.
But G4, okay, did not see that coming, guys.
Knight f4.
Knight f4, King f2. Very, very quickly played now by Gary Kasparov.
This again.
Okay, there's a big
this is Gary. This is Gary.
threat.
Gary plays the endings aggressively, the middle games aggressively. Just name it. The openings, everything aggressively. We were looking for just simple moves, and he's decided to allow this knight to get to this post on f4.
But our king is better than it would have been if we castled.
And now f6.
Whoa, 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 whoa. He didn't move his bishop. What was that?
We can.
Knight
Gary's
C6.
confused. Knight c6 is on the board.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, not quite.
Rook d2 check.
Because your
King
bishop on
E3.
your bishop on b5 is going to hang.
Oh my goodness. King
Rook
E3.
takes b2, and the game has changed. The game has changed. What's going on?
Knight takes a7.
Knight takes a7. Gary is trying to gain
There's
his
an
composure.
e5 check. There's a very, very disruptive e5 check in the position.
What does that do?
Well, if you put your king back, knight takes a7, e5 check. If you put your king back on g3, then I go rook b3, threatening bishop takes e4.
That is true.
Ooh. So this
So
was
Gary's sinking into thought now, but he's only got 30 seconds left.
no way. Has it really gone down that
Well,
fast?
Levon's only got 47 seconds, so
Whoa.
both players, but Gary really in the tank in this position. He's been thinking for like I think about 40 seconds now.
That
Oh,
G4
my.
move was so aggressive.
He's played rook to D1, yes.
Yes. He didn't like the variations where his king was. Now, at least E5 check could be met by the ultra aggressive king F5.
And that is exactly what Levon does not want to happen. He's
He
played
played
H6,
H6.
trying to have another
maybe
avenue of
maybe
escape.
G5
So
check
it's
to
pushing
drive
the
the
king
back.
back.
Even material.
It's even material.
And now,
H5 by
there's
Gary.
some mating ideas. A knight on G6.
6 is about to land. Did this move H6 injure Black's position?
From a practical point of view, yeah.
It sure looks so, doesn't it?
It's because
Oh,
it's made
my.
Levon think. That's not good. He wanted to keep that time advantage on Gary.
Absolutely. Look at
Rook
the time.
B3, very, very quickly now.
E5 check is
10 seconds left for Gary.
And Gary has played E5 in order to maintain his king on this F4 square. He didn't want to face the move E5. Bishop D3. Why didn't Gary give him a check first? Oh.
Again, his
Bishop
instincts
D3.
broke there. He should have definitely checked first.
Bishop D3 is a huge move.
Now the rook is caught on the wrong side of the act, and he's taken the pawn.
Now both of them just playing a blitz game now. Levon taking down to
C3
7
does not
seconds.
win. That was important that C3 did not win in that position. And Gary, not sure what to do, fumbling for a moment there and just giving away the pawn.
No good.
He's feeling the pressure of the moment. Both of
the
them
clock.
with
It's
no
the clock.
time on the clock.
Oh, and the king
It's
has
the
been
clock.
king's gone passive. That's exactly what he was trying not
No.
to do.
This
Gary.
knight is trapped, and Gary's resigned.